Welcome to Connect with Christina, episode 9, season 2, and a familiar face, Jordan. And please say your last name because I butcher it.
She's going to butcher it. It's Noblitt. There's no R. It's not Noblitt. It's Noblitt.
And we've been friends for a decade, actually longer than that, but that doesn't matter.
Yes.
You're just Jordan to me.
You know.
Yeah. Today, the big topic is determining what did you say?
What is a true friend?
Yeah. There you go. No, I think like it's real. There's signs that you guys need to watch out for.
Definitely.
But you would think it's so much easier than it is, but
You know what? It's not easy though. It really isn't. My mom does not have one true friend. And she always asks me, "How do you have true friends?" Like I have this conversation a lot. So it's not easy.
yeah. So please, how do we determine
I mean,
what a good friend is?
I'm a very big energy person.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that I determine is what is the energy I'm getting off of you. Some people you just gravitate. You and I met each other one night and boom, done.
Done.
Energy's good. Like, it's cool. There's some people where I can feel a negative energy or they may talk a lot about other people.
Oh gosh.
So I'm just
Red flag.
Yes, I'm immediately like, I don't want anything to do with this person. If they're telling me, who they just met me, about all these other people I don't know, they're going to do the same thing to me when I'm not around.
Right.
That's how I read it off the top, like when we're at a house party, whatever. Secondly, are you like true to your word? If you tell me you're going to do something, you're going to do it.
I'm laughing because he said house party.
I mean, gathering, COVID party, Zoom call, you know, all of it. But like, are you true to your word? My biggest test that I say in my own head, because we all have friends, acquaintances, but we have like a small group that's friends. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, you always know who you have. You know, your acquaintances, and then your
Yes.
friends, and then your real close friends, like basically your family.
Facts.
You know.
So one thing I like to say in my head is, if I called someone at 2 a.m, and let's say I blew all 4 tires out in my car and I needed a ride, who do I know will answer the phone and make an effort to get there, even if they're knocked asleep, nowhere near me? I know about 5, 6 people, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
There.
I
also
better be on that list.
No, for facts. You know, you gotta ask. Similar, I know groups of people that I'm like, yeah, you probably have an excuse. She probably have an excuse. Yeah, I can't really depend on that one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey Gatsby, you should ask IG for questions for how to determine, what a good friend is.
Right. And then I'm very big on loyalty, which is a very hot topic nowadays. But with my friends, I've always had a personal rule. I will defend you, whether you're right or wrong, in the public, 1,000%. If you're in the wrong, I'll address it behind the scenes, but I'll never address it in front of others, and I'll back you. And sometimes I'll put myself in bad situations with the person because I'm like, I'm not going to let them do this themselves.
Right.
Behind the scenes, like, what are you thinking?
Right.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
and I think that's it. Being a good friend is being honest.
Yes.
So if your friend is not doing, something right, you have to tell them.
Have
that.
to. And a lot of people won't.
Right.
Like, how stupid is it that you get the stuff in people's teeth
Right.
and some people won't say anything? It's like,
Right.
it's the dumbest thing ever. You think I'm going to be mad at you
Right.
for telling me I have something in my teeth?
Right. Right. That's true. And it's something basic, but it kind of
Yeah.
represents something bigger.
Right.
You know?
And now I don't want someone that's just sitting and agreeing with me on everything.
Right.
Play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Tell me, well, have you thought about it from this perspective? Or, I think you might be a little off base here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, give me an example though. Like, have you been hurt by a friend? Have you been screwed over by a friend?
Man, yes,
share
I
that.
have. I will give you an example. When I was about 23, 24, I had just gotten a new car. I had another group of friends. They didn't have a car at the time. So when I would go to work, I would let them use my car. Like, yeah, go ahead, run your errands, whatever. After a while, it went from a favor to almost an expectation on their point. Hey, when are you going to work? Hey, when are you working? Like almost it's their car.
Right.
Then when they deliver it to me, they use the gas but don't fill it. Sometimes they're pulling up, drinking. I'm like, this is my car. Like, you get in trouble, my car is going to impound, not yours. Like, I started to see the big picture. What are they taking from me and what are they giving to me? And it was a one-way street. It has to be a two-way street. Like, what are you adding positively to my life? And are you always taking? Are you asking how I'm doing? Are you, hey, I swung by, I figured you were hungry, I got you some food. Are you looking out for me?
Right.
And that's
It's crazy because a lot of little things too.
yes. A lot of it is the little things. And I'm a sensitive person, so I overthink about everything. So I might think like, man, this person do that on purpose? Are they trying to, like I really take a step and look at it. But the good part of that is like when you used to hit me up and check on me about my mental health, I also overthink about that. Like, man, so in all the hours of this person's day, with all the stuff they got going on, they had the wherewithal to think about me and then reach out to me to see how I'm doing. That tells me a lot right there. And that's a 3-second text message.
Right.
But that's how I view it.
Right. That is true though, because it's like, and I don't mean for me, like I
Right.
just mean like even same goes, it's the same thing. Like when I get those messages and it's like, just, hey, do you need anything? It really
Yeah.
does go a long way.
It goes a super long ways
Yeah.
because there's, it's kind of like the saying, stop texting everybody and see who checks up on you.
Right.
A lot of friendships will end real quick.
You got to clip that one. That is so true. Say it again.
So stop texting, calling people, see who contacts you. Because a lot of friendships, relationships will end. You'll find out people aren't contacting you. It's a one-way street. That'll tell you a lot right there.
We talked about this before as far as friendship being like a bank account. You
Yes.
can't just, one can't just make all the deposits and the other one withdraws.
Yes,
Right? It's got to be a balance. It's a two-way street.
totally.
The love has to be like goes
It's got to be
both
genuine.
ways. Yeah.
Like, if I have $20 and you have no money, well, you now have $10 and so do I, because I'm going to split it.
Right.
I'm just so big on a two-way street with
But I
anything.
feel like the determination of a good friend, it goes so far and so deep.
Oh, most definitely, because it's not just a monetary thing. It's do they help with your mental health? Do they help with your physical health, emotional health? There's so many different levels to it. That it
Right,
gets
because like if you're
complex.
talking to someone and after you talk to them, now you're in a bad mood.
Yeah. Why
That's
do I want
not-
that energy?
right.
That transfer of energy is like,
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, and then sometimes that happens and you transfer it to someone else as a domino effect,
Because energy is a currency.
Right.
You're,
Well-
you're passing it back and forth constantly.
Yeah, and like Ronnie said, just love them from a distance.
I have quite a few friends. I got some friends that are in bad places, whether it's prison systems or bad stuff. I still love them, but I keep a big distance between
Yeah.
that. I don't want that.
Well, throw out some more traits. So what else makes a good friend?
Genuineness, and what I mean when I say genuineness is, I've been with friends coming out of a grocery store before, and they've seen an older lady loading her groceries into the car. Without even saying anything to me, they just walk over there and start helping her. You just told me a lot about who you really are to your core without even saying a word.
Right.
I have some other friends come in the same situation. They might throw something in the trash, miss it, and just lift the litter and be like, give someone else a job. It's like, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't get me started with the carts, the grocery carts.
man, people are jerks with the
Have
carts.
you guys seen the Instagram for Cart Narc?
No, but I'm not surprised that
Oh
this
my
is a
gosh!
thing.
Look it up. Put it up here.
I'll
the
be
Cart
looking this
Narc.
up for sure.
Yeah, and it's just funny. So Kevin showed it to me, but literally he goes after every person that doesn't return the cart.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he'll measure and go, "You're this many, feet away."
I mean, this is a total tangent, but I'd like to know what that person does for a living, because to have that amount of time to do this,
I think it's for it's for the.
you're probably making money
yeah.
off IG.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's true. Like, put your cards back, y'all.
Right. Well, and also it's, you know, I've brought some friends around family members, and they're still talking like we're in the streets, and it's like, oh God, I can't bring this friend around anybody. And I got other friends where we can have our conversation. I introduce them to people, and they're polite, and they know how to hold themselves. Like, I don't want someone that's just running around like F this, F that, you know. I'm so big on energy and how you present yourself.
I think another definition of a good friend is like if you're doing well, you want the same thing for your friends, and you're gonna do
Their
what
success
you can
should be your success.
to help. Right.
There
right.
should be no jealousy,
Right.
envy. If your friend, you know, landed a $10 million business deal and you're making 30 grand a year, you should still be like just as excited for that person. And when it is genuine, words don't even have to be said. Usually that person will find a way to incorporate you, like, hey man, I'm gonna create this position to help you out as
Right.
well. Like, everybody's helping everybody, not just gimme, take.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we see a lot of jealousy between quote unquote friendships out
Right.
there, and they're not genuine.
Right. Well, I mean, that's like I don't know if you saw that quote where it said, you're basically always watching the stories, but you won't give a like or a comment.
Yeah, like what is that? Clearly you're a hateful person or an envious person.
Right.
You know, I don't understand that.
Yeah, and then you're the first one to like watch the story.
Oh, well, and there's so many people like preying on people's downfall behind the scenes, but they're nice face to face.
Right.
I'm a pretty good read of character. I can usually detect who that is fairly easily, but a lot of people can't. You know, my mother, she has trouble making genuine friends. And we will get into in-depth conversations, and I'll be like, okay, Mom, this friend, she specifically has a friend that I really dislike. But I'm like, what positive have they ever brought to your life? And she honestly can't answer that. And I'm like, but what do they always ask you? Hey, can you do me a favor? Hey, can you do this for me?
And what did she say? What's
She
her
gets
answer?
it. She gets it when I
Yeah.
bring it to her.
Right.
But my mother's self-confidence is so low, and this is part of it, that she's scared to walk away from that and cut loose, because then she's like, well, then I don't have anybody.
Aw,
But do
yeah.
you enjoy having a non-genuine friendship?
Right.
She can answer it. It's just actually applying it.
Right.
And I think that's hard for people. There's a lot of people that haven't met genuine people out here.
And that's why they say, like, especially in today's world, like, it's hard to find genuine people.
Yes.
So when you do, you gotta keep them.
Well, and like we can be very extroverted, obviously. We
Right.
don't have a problem talking to people. There's a lot of people that are introverts. They don't just go out and say, hey, I'm such and such. I think you're cool. They're sitting in their house every day after work like, man, I want to meet a friend, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know where to go. That's a real thing,
Right.
you know?
I think too, like a lot of compromise. You know,
Yes.
being an easy friend. Like it can't just be about you.
No. And you don't want to be the doormat friend, the go with the flow like, oh, I never voice my opinion, but
Right.
I just want to be part of this group. So,
Yeah.
like, speak up.
Well, and I think these days too, like I've been trying to go back to like writing letters again.
Yeah.
You know, Deanna Jordan had mentioned that before, and it's true. Like, you know, Gatsby, if you got a letter in the mail, you know, how would you feel? Like if it's just a letter, it wasn't your birthday, it wasn't Christmas, it was just a letter to let you know you mattered to someone.
Touch. My niece did that one time, and I like almost.
It's dope. It's dope because it's so the opposite of the norm now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we were coming up, like if someone sent you an email back in the day before it was really popular. You're like, oh, I got an email. From something. Like you were telling people I got an email. You know, now it's the opposite. Like I got a letter.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? It goes back full circle to like, you
Yeah.
know,
Like
those.
my dad and mom still send me paper letters and stuff, not even on special occasions, just hey, I thought about you this. That's exciting to not
Right.
see a credit card bill in the mail every time or a ad for a grocery store.
Well, yeah, and like my girls, they keep those letters.
I do too. I have a
you
whole
know.
shoebox. I actually had to just weed through them earlier this year because I had ones dating back to middle school. And it was just getting too much where I'm like, okay, You know, we don't need to know what girl such and such love note in 8th grade was.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply anymore.
Right. I think whenever you come on this podcast, where we always have like one topic, but we like go to 10 million topics.
Right.
Which is, it's just fun. I think you're
Yeah.
gonna see him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun.
So, first of all, if you guys are, whoever's listening to this, we want to
Yes.
challenge you to send out at least, I don't know, five is five a lot, 3 letters this month.
Let's go
or
3,
even-
Yeah.
Please just think of the 3 people in your life that impacted you, that mattered to you, and let them know that.
Yes.
Send the letter, and
Yes.
then let us know. You can message Gatsby and let him know.
And I would almost say, you know, don't do the easy like mom, dad. Pick maybe even a friend that you
10 years ago.
Yeah, that you were close to or something. It's still on good terms, but like, man, I haven't talked to such and such in a while.
Yeah.
You know?
So 3.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
It's the month of love anyway, so it's perfect.
It is the month of love.
Gatsby, before I get into the second part, you should call Eric Bernal and ask him if he has a question about determining what a good friend is.
Yes. So Eric's one of those guys. Moment I met him, I'm like, that's a good dude.
Right, and he works so hard.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy. No matter how big he'll get,
Yeah.
he'll always be humble.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I second that.
Yeah, and I love that because we've all known people that have blown up in the business world or whatever, and it's almost like, did you forget where you came from?
Right.
Do I need to
Or-
take you back down?
Some who haven't even made it yet.
And act like they have.
Connect with Christina podcast. Calling from the podcast currently.
What's he sleeping?
You can show him in the camera. That's Eric Bernal, guys.
Get up, Eric.
Quick question. What is the qualities of a good friend?
What are the qualities of a good?
What are the qualities of a true friend?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to repeat what he says.
Right now, he's just pointing at himself.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you the mic. Go ahead.
The qualities of a good friend is someone who is going to be honest with you. Because in the world of yes people, yes men, yes women, it is good to have someone to tell you what it really is, whether it be good or bad. I think right now people encourage bad behavior because it's their friend, and that's not really a friend to me. So.
Thank you, Eric Bernal.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay, here you go, Gatsby. How much time do we have?
No, that's so true.
Yeah. Think about this though. If you come across now we're going to another area of this, but since you're in property management too.
Right.
So think about two people and they're friends
Yep.
and they become roommates,
Yep.
and then what happens? It's not always good.
And actually, it mostly ends bad, which is shocking because I've had a roommate for 6-7 years, and we played college basketball together. He's one of my best friends and brothers. We've never had an argument. Like, we're always on the same level. But a lot of times it's the opposite. I think it's also understanding your friend's personality and understanding your personality. How do they mesh? I do have some friends where if you did make us roommates, we're probably not going to get along after a while, you know?
I remember renting to people, and they're like, "Oh, we've been best friends since, kindergarten."
Right.
And then I'm looking at both of them, and I'm in my head, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you just signed at the time 18-month lease term," and it's a
It's a scary situation.
Right. Well,
in property management, you see it all the time.
Because they do. They come in as best friends, and then all
They
of a
leave as
sudden,
enemies.
Right. It's like, get her out of here, change the locks.
Yes.
So.
But you know what is at the bottom of that, or the core of that, same with just even dating, is communication.
Right.
Most of it comes down to communication.
And I think too, like remembering there is a stage of when people are young and they're not mature yet, even though they
Yes.
think they are, and they think they know it all.
Been there.
Same, been there.
Yep.
You really don't.
No.
So, I think it's important to to recognize that.
Well, and for me personally, I like people that are open-minded. If you're not open-minded, we're probably not going to be great friends because I'm very open-minded. I'm someone that always likes to flip the script and say, okay, this is my opinion, but if I was in that person's shoes, trying to see it from their perspective, how would I look at this? Oh, okay, I get that.
So break that down. For a roommate, I'll start. Washing the dishes. Like if we're roommates.
This is actually great because washing the dishes is my most hated thing in life. I hate it. Now, my roommate friend, he could be a chef. He loves to cook. I'm not a big cooker. But there's been times he's been like, dude, you wash the dishes like crap. I'm not a good dishwasher. I'm not passionate about washing dishes. But it's
people are passionate about washing dishes.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't be. But he's gotten after me a couple times, and I've half-assed it or whatever. But I realize that's important to him because he uses the kitchen. So I make it a priority for me. If I'm going to use some dishes, make sure there's none left in the sink or put them in the dishwasher out of respect for him.
Right.
It doesn't have to be something I like to do, but this is important to him.
Right.
Just like I bump music a lot. Once it hits a certain hour and I know he goes to bed, I turn it down, even if he
doesn't say anything.
Yeah, but like there's just a respect amongst each other. If I still left a bunch of dishes in there, still crank music when he's trying to sleep, am I really a friend? Because it's all about me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about you.
Well, and then it gets worse because it's like then you both when it comes to rent payment too. Because in our world,
Right.
in property management, no matter if the one roommate comes up with the half, but if the other one doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's still late.
Exactly.
And so, you know what I mean? So it just makes it, you throw in like the dynamics of a home.
Yep.
It's the most sensitive thing.
Oh, for sure. And here's a big topic with true friendship. Lending friends money has probably ruined more friendships than anything.
Ugh.
My policy personally, I don't lend money. I just give it to you.
Right.
If you need it, I've loaned, or not loaned, I guess. I've loaned people $1,200, $1,500, $1,000, and I just tell them, hey man, just take it as a gift from my heart to you. If you want to pay me back, that's up to you. If not, I'm giving it to you as a gift.
A lot of times the whole like borrowing thing just doesn't work.
No. No. Plus, if I only give money to those that are my close circle. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, just take it as a genuine gift.
Yeah.
It's on you. I'm cool with that because my heart was in the right spot. I know I'm helping you out. It's all good.
Right. Roommate, something's brewing in my head.
Yeah. What's cooking?
You know what? It's starting to go bad when you, in the apartment, when your roommate has to put signs around the house.
Hell no. No. If it goes there, just chop up the lease. We're going opposite ways because that's.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Wash your own dish.
Right.
Laundry.
Or people that have to label their stuff in the refrigerator.
Right.
Like. Because like me and my roommate, we never labeled anything like, hey, this is mine. Whatever I bring home, like, bro, you want to get into that? Go ahead. And it's just like, if you finish it, just replace it.
Right, but I think too it comes down to like the character as well, because even though you say that, he would never just, if it was the last pickle in there, he would never just eat that.
Perfect example. I recently, Oreos were on sale, and I rarely have Oreos, maybe a couple times a year. But they were on sale, so I bought 2 things of Oreos. My roommate likes Oreos. So I'm like, hey, I got a pack in there for you. Man, I tore that pack up. I'm like, bro, I'll replace them. I got them for you. I want you to have your pack of Oreos, but I tore them up, okay?
Just communicate.
Right.
Right.
Communication. He's like, okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
you guys have been like friends for a while too.
Yeah, I mean, met in college. Sad thing, or crazy thing is, we didn't even hang out in college, besides playing basketball together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it says a lot, What's your oldest friend, Gatsby?
Ooh,
Put you on the spot.
the length of time?
Yeah, not age, length of time. I'm a foreigner. I ask funny questions.
30 now, so like 15 years?
Okay.
Like, so since what?
Since 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my longest is going on 22 years.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and he's my brother. I'm his oldest son, who's a senior in high school. I'm his godfather. That's terrifying.
Well, so I'm sure all the qualities we said today, he probably possesses.
Facts.
So
Like, I mean, he's the type of friend. When I was going through, mental health stuff a couple of years ago, his wife called me and was like, "Hey, I booked him a ticket to come out there. He's going to stay with you a couple days." Like, I didn't even say anything. It's just, this is what's going down.
right. I definitely appreciate like the friends that are easy. Like you
Yes.
just pick up right where you left off. No drama. Just
No one's
all
taking
love.
anything personal.
Yeah, just all love. That's it. You're not. Oh, I've been upset for you at you for 6 months because
And if you were, I'd be like, "Why did you say nothing?"
Right, but it's just I like the easy ones where, like you said, you can pick up the phone, you can call them, they'll be there for you, and when you see them, because we do all get busy,
Yeah.
And while I say that, I do try to be intentional and make sure I let them know that I care about them, and but I
Definitely.
do appreciate like the ones who are so understanding, I guess.
So
and those are the ones you don't want to take for granted.
So I had this college teammate. He was my first college roommate. I have not seen him face to face since I left college at 22 years old. We still talk a couple times a month, and it feels like we saw each other yesterday.
Yeah,
It's
see?
just easy,
Right.
and no one's taking anything personal. Like, "Bro, sorry, I haven't called you. I'm busy. I know you're busy."
Right. Yeah, but it's just all love, right? That's
Exactly.
my point.
It's a
So,
beautiful thing.
Yeah. I think we're going to title this episode All About Nothing and Random Shit.
Yeah.
Edit that last part. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But it's fun because I told you, you're going to keep coming onto the podcast.
Oh, for sure. I love doing
So
this.
we were talking about when Ronnie was asking, like, when I think people listen. I was like, when they do their makeup.
Yep.
When they're driving to work or from work.
Yep.
And then if they're super, super like loyal friends, they'll put it on in the background and work.
Yeah, or clean the house or
right,
something.
Right. But that's my point. It's like that's why we try to keep it long, which I think we're past
Yes.
our time. But, we there's just so much that goes on in life. It's nice to have you on to just bounce it.
I love it.
So we'll have to think of the next one we're gonna chat about.
Oh, for sure.
So Jordan, thank you for being here at Connect with Christina, aka
Clap God.
That's how she get it. Made a couple racks, I never asked how she did it. City girls out of her